Hey, you YouTubers, Tazman here, and I'm bringing you another episode of Minecraft from the ground up. So, last we left, we went over all the interface and the settings and all that fun stuff, and now we're actually going to get into the game. So, I had to rebuild this world because I downloaded the dev version and it actually did some things and changed files and stuff, so I had issues. But anyway, this is the exact same world we were in before, and this is about where we were, and as you can see I have nothing on me. So first thing we're going to go over is the user interface, and as I've told you before, this video actually complements a PDF document I'm writing with the same name, Minecraft from the ground up, that gives you a written document that you can actually download and print or just have open as a reference to make it a little easier in Minecraft. So you might hear me flipping pages every now and then for this first part anyway, as I'm trying to follow the document itself. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the actual user interface in game. And the first things I want to point out, and if I hit enter, yes, that worked perfect. You should be able to see my mouse, but the first things we want to talk about is these row of hearts here. So these 10 hearts actually represent 20 points of life you have. Each heart is actually 2 points of life. So as you get hurt and stuff, they might go down in halves. And then over here we have your hunger gauge, and it's the same. Actually, this isn't the same thing. This actually, these meat pops, there's 10 of those, and as you run, jump, and do work, they'll slowly deteriorate. And as long as you have only one of these missing, you'll still regenerate hearts. Other words, if you are even missing a tiny bit of this one and you get hurt, you'll no longer regenerate hearts automatically. You need to eat to replenish your meat pops, and thereby you'll redo your hearts. So let me just show you real quick. We're just going to go up here and maybe take a little damage. I don't think this will do, maybe like 2.5, 3. Okay, 2 hearts. Now, as you can see, these hearts are regenerating, and that's because we are full. Now if we just run around a little bit and do some jumping and some sprinting, and we'll lose our first meat pop there. Just running and jumping, frolicking through the forest. Oh, and hitting trees. So one thing I didn't mention in the game before, and I don't think it's in the controls, is you have your regular walk, and if you want to run, you actually double tap your default key for move forward. In the default, it is the W. So double tap W and you'll move faster. However, this will deteriorate your food faster than if you were just walking. Come on. Oh, there we go. Now it's starting to disappear. Should go a little faster now. Alright, so now you can see we're missing one meat pop. If we take damage right now, we will still regenerate our hearts. Let's see if there's somewhere I can take some damage. Let's see, let's climb up this tree a little. And actually we might not regenerate now because we waited a little longer and we have a little bit missing on this, on this other meat pop right here. So as you can see, we're not regenerating food or regenerating hearts. However, if we were to say kill this cow. Come here, cow. Oh, hold on just one sec. I forgot to start my timer to make sure we finish in a timely manner. Give me just one second. Okay, there we go. Where'd that cow go? I know there's one. If this isn't him, this one might be him. Well, we'll just beat this cow up. So now you can see we actually are missing 2 meat pops. And takes forever to kill these guys with just your hand. Alright, so now you see a cow, when you kill a cow, they drop, or they have a chance of dropping leather, and usually they do drop at least 1 meat. Now, raw meat doesn't heal you as much as cooked meat. If I cooked this meat first and then ate it, it could heal me 3 meat pops. I mean 4 meat pops, sorry. But because it's raw, I believe it's only 2. Actually, it's only 1. Even worse. Alright, so those are those 2 bars and how they kind of function and work. And we're okay for now. Alright, so the next bar we want to go over is this little thin bar. Now, as you'll notice, there's little green that's filling it up. This is your experience bar, and this is used not to show actual level you are, but to actually your enchanting levels. So when you enchant things, which we'll go over later on in our tutorial, you'll use enchantment levels to enchant items. And anyway, so once this gets all the way to the end, a little 1 will appear right here, and then it'll begin again. This is progressive and exponential, so each time, like if this was, say, 100 XP bubbles to get here, the next one would be 200, so it'd start over, or it might be 300 or something. I don't know the actual numbers. But anyway, each time you gain a level, it actually takes longer and requires more kills to get to the next one. And then finally, this bar at the very bottom right here, this is your action bar. And this is basically, you can scroll through your items using your mouse wheel or the number keys. So this would be number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And let me just hit escape real quick, and you can see I'm using my mouse wheel to scroll through. Now I'm going to hit the number 2 key on the keyboard, and it selects box number 2. So that is the main game interface. And it looks like sun's going down, so we're going to really quick make it back to morning, because we're not quite ready for our first night of survival. Alright, so the next thing I want to go over is the inventory screen. And the default key to get into the inventory screen is E, but as I was showing you when I set up my game, I set my control to I. So I'm pressing I, and you can see here there's a little 3D model of yourself that follows the mouse cursor. So you can make them say no or yes. This area right over here is your armor. So as you craft items, you can craft a helmet, a chest plate, leggings, and boots or shoes, whatever you want to call them. And you can place them on here, and they'll be placed on this little model right here in the middle. When you first start the game, the only type of crafting you can do is simple crafting, and the way you do that is in this crafting area, these 4 boxes, and you simply put things in, either depending on the crafting recipe. There's 2 types. There's shaped and there's shapeless. Shapeless means, for example, mushroom stew. You put a bowl down here, you could put a mushroom here, or a mushroom here, a mushroom here. You know, it doesn't matter, it's shapeless. You just need all the items in the box. And if we had a crafting table, which gives us a 9 square box or a 3 by 3 box, you could put them anywhere in there and it would still make your mushroom stew. So let's just grab some wood real quick. Alright, so for example, crafting wood into planks is a shapeless recipe, or I guess you could call it shaped, because it doesn't matter which box you put it in. But if I had 2 pieces of wood, it wouldn't make anything. So you do need 1 piece of wood, and you put it in the box, and you get 4 planks. Okay, your next recipe would be, you could, for example, there's a pressure plate. That's to make a button. That's to make sticks. And that's to make a crafting table. Most crafting recipes kind of resemble the thing that they're actually making. I shouldn't wiggle my mouth so much, but kind of represent the thing they're making. So once you've got your crafting recipe items in there, then you can simply come to the results area, grab it, and you now have your item. So, and as I was explaining, whoops, wrong button. What a crafting bench or crafting table does is simply give you a much larger crafting area. Instead of a 2 by 2, you now have the 3 by 3, so you can make more advanced items. So it's very good to have one of these, and maybe even carry one around with you. So back in our inventory screen, these 3 rows represent our backpack, and this bottom row right here represents the hotbar. So as you can see, if I put that down there, it appears in square 1, down in square 9, and to use things, they need to be in your hotbar. So usually down here you'll want some building blocks, you'll want torches, food, your tools such as a pickaxe, a sword, and things like that. So that kind of explains both these interfaces. Let me turn the page. Now, one thing, sorry, I just got a little bit sidetracked. But one other thing I forgot to tell you is you also have 2 bars that are hidden as a default but appear at different times. And one of those is your breathing bar, which if you go in water, you'll have right here, where's my thing? Right here above the hearts, you'll get, or actually no, right here above the meat pops, you'll get little bubbles. There's 10 of them, and they slowly pop. If the last one pops, you start taking damage. And then as you put on armor, equipping armor, there will be 10 here. Now depending on the armor, depends on how many of the little armor icons will fill up, and we'll show you that in just a second. We'll go into creative for that, but let's show you really quick the bubbles. So if we go in here in this water and we sink down so our head's underwater, you can see these bubbles right here, and you can see they're actually going down one by one. Now when they've all disappeared, you'll start taking damage, and you take that little tick your body, and it takes a full heart at a time. Now once again, because we don't have at least 9 of our meat pops filled, we will not regenerate health. Okay, so now let's just really quick jump into creative, and I will show you armor, and we'll talk about crafting recipes and that in just a little bit. Okay, mode 1. Oops. Game mode 1. Sorry. Okay, so now we're in creative mode, and you'll notice in creative mode, this isn't necessarily part of survival, but double tap space and you can fly. You can also break blocks instantly instead of having to dig them. You can break the snow, break leaves, break any block, even bedrock, which is unbreakable in the game normally. You can break just with one hit. Also, if you use the mouse wheel button, by clicking on that, you can pick up whatever item is in your crosshairs that you're near. You'll see that whenever you're near something, you'll get a little bounding box on it. See the little box right there? You can't really see it on Leafs, but you can see it like there. And right now we're on the block. Right now we're on the snow. So if we want leaves, we do that, and so on and so forth. If we happen to middle click on an animal, we get the corresponding spawn egg. So if we middle click on him, you can see we can now spawn a cow. Alright, so anyway, that's all I'm really going to go into. Other than you can also place, and you have unlimited inventory, and it's instant place. Alright, so we're not going to go much more into the NAT. This is the interface. You have your tabs and the types of things that are in the tabs, building blocks. Down here we have our combat and armor. So what I wanted to show you is the difference between your armors. So we're actually going to grab one full set of each. I want to put it on, and I'll show you the armor gauge. Alright, where were we? Armor. See, so we need iron. Gold and diamond. And finally diamond. Whoops, wrong one. Alright, so I believe we need to jump back into not creative, game mode 0, and let's just make sure it's morning again. Alright, so first we're going to put on this this diamond armor, and to instantly equip an item in there, you can simply shift click it. Also, if you happen to pick up an item, oh actually no, that's if it's a dispenser shoots it at you or something, it automatically equips it. But as you can see here, diamond is your best armor, and as you can see down here, oh great, now you can't see as well. Let's use this. Nope, can't see that either. Well, look right above the hearts and you'll notice all the little armor icons that are full. So I can't move my mouse down there, but down there you can see, actually the debug screen will work. Nope, I guess it won't. Alright, well you can see the 10 little armor icons down there. Diamond provides you with the best armor. So now let's go ahead. We'll take off the diamond. The second best armor wise, I think it's gold. It's either iron or gold. Gold, I think, provides you with more. Oh, why am I doing that? Gold provides you with more armor, but it's less durable, which means its life will deteriorate and eventually go away. So as you can see, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5. So 5.5 for gold. And you can see how nice you look in it right there. Let's go check out chainmail. Chainmail is the one thing that right now in the game, as far as I know, is not craftable. So actually chainmail is a little better than gold, giving you 6. And iron gives us, oh nice, so 7.5, right? And then our lowest one is leather. Now as I said, gold does really good, except for it deteriorates really fast. A lot of people call it butter because it's so soft. Alright, and then here we go with leather, and it only gives you 3.5. So there's your different things. Now different amounts of armor, like a head and this, That only gives you 2. So each bit of armor gives us a set amount. So the chest plate there, 1.5. Add the leggings, we're up to 2.5. So leggings basically give you 1. Alright, so there we go. So that is the basics on armor. Alright, so let me go to our next area. So now we're actually going to jump into your first night of survival. But before I do that, I want to get fed up real quick. Let's see, let's just grab a steak. That should do. And, whoops, not that one. Now we're going to go ahead and delete all this armor. Maybe we could hit the delete key. No. That'd be kind of nice if there was a quicker way to delete it. Okay. Now I think, actually I'm going to grab us, I think we only had 4 hearts, or 4 hunger pops missing, right? Let's just double check. We might have to jump right back in. I don't want to have anything on us when we start. So let's do game mode 0. Oh, we only have 2. That's good. Okay, so we're going to eat this. Now the way you eat is you hold down the right mouse button. And now you can see all our meat pops are filled up and our hearts are now regenerating. That's probably something else I should do. Hold on just a sec. We're going to do one other thing to make this more like we just barely got in the game. Let's go ahead and get rid of our workbench and put in 1 piece of spruce wood. Good as new. Alright, now let's go ahead, game mode 0, and we're going to set the time back to 02. There we go. Alright, so when you first start the game, the sun is just rising in the east. And the first thing you're going to want to do is you have some priorities. Your 3 major priorities when you start the game are get wood, find or build a temporary shelter or a hidey hole, and get some food. So generally you can survive the first night without food, but it is kind of nice to get some. So what we're going to do is we're going to run up to a nearby tree here and start punching wood. Now the way you punch the wood, oh, I need to turn off that. I always forget. The way you punch wood is you simply hold down the left mouse button while that little white crosshair is on the thing you want to punch. So if we punch leaves, you can see we're punching leaves, but we want to get wood. Generally, when I start a game, I like to have around 20 pieces of wood to start off. And the reason for that is because I might not find coal in my first day. And coal is very handy for making torches, for cooking and smelting, and so on. So I like to make sure I actually have enough. Now, as you can see, as we punch these leaves, there's a chance they drop a sapling. And it's a good idea, so you don't totally deplete your woods, is to right click, select your sapling like we have there, right click to place it. Now, as always, different tools do different jobs. The best tool for cutting wood, if you couldn't guess, is obviously an axe. We're not going to build one just yet. We're just going to use our hand for a few minutes. It does cut a little slower, but we're okay. There's another sapling. We'll go ahead and plant that guy. Now, the most beneficial tree to cut down is actually oak. There are 4 types of trees currently in the game. There's the spruce, which we're hitting on right now. There's oak, which is usually in forests and is probably one of the more common ones in the game. And there is birch. And birch is usually in a forest mingled with some oak. Alright, let's see, we got 18. Let's just do one more tree. And finally, did I say and finally on birch? Sorry, I keep losing my train of thought. The final one we have is jungle. And jungle actually comes in 2 variants. You have a jungle tree that's just a simple 1 thick block that is fairly tall. And then you have a monster one that is actually 4 blocks thick. And usually you find vines on those, and vines can be very handy to use for climbing and such. So here we have our 26 pieces of wood. And we can plant a couple extra trees if we want, just because we can. But the first thing we're going to want to do is get some food. Now we do know that there were some cows up over there. The other place you can get food is breaking grass. You can get seeds. Now the seeds in and of themselves are not really that useful, but you can actually make a hoe and then you can plant some seeds. And then you can grow some wheat. And wheat can be pretty darn good because you can make bread and you can also breed cows. So let's go ahead. We already went over how to make a crafting bench. So we're going to grab a bunch of wood there. Maybe 20 more there. Now we're going to take wooden planks and put them above wooden planks. Oh, that's one other thing. New mechanics in the game, starting with 1.5, is if you left click and drag through boxes, it splits your stack as even as it can. If you right click and drag through the boxes, it simply does one set. Now if we want to get all that together, we just double click it and we got it all. The other thing is, if you left click you can pick up a stack, then if you right click you can place one at a time, or if you, instead of picking up the stack by left clicking, if you right click you grab half the stack. We want to keep half that, so there we go. Now in the results area we can either click and then click again and click again with the left button, or we can hold down shift and click and it'll instantly make everything it can. So there you see we have our sticks. Alright, we're going to make one more set here, boop, boop, and get us a crafting bench. And we're going to place our crafting bench. Now what we're going to make is some of our tools. And we might actually reset the day once more because we're spending so much time explaining everything. But this is important. So to make your different tools, you right click on the crafting bench. Now I'm going to show you the tools, but we're actually only going to make 2 of them. First of all, if you think of, for example, a shovel, you have a long stick, which is the handle, and then you have the head of the shovel, which in this case is the planks, and you can see you have a shovel. If you were thinking of a hoe, you might think of something shaped like that, the long stick and the 2 planks. An axe is similar to the hoe, you just put one more there and you can see there's the head of the axe and once again the handle. A pickaxe, which is something we are going to make, is kind of like a T. You've got your pickaxe itself and then the handle. So we're going to make one of those. Another thing we're going to make is a sword. So a sword is kind of the opposite. You have a small little handle, but you have a big blade. So as you can see, there's us a sword. So now that we have that and we have our pickaxe, what we want to do is gather some stone. Now with those tools that we were just looking at, you can actually make all those tools using wood. You can make them out of cobblestone. You can make them out of iron ingots, gold ingots, and diamond. Now, one thing we want to do here is we want to make sure we have at least 2 cows that are surviving, because we can breed those later. If we kill all the cows, then we have to go far, far away to find some more. So we know there were 2 cows over there, and we can kill all these other ones. Come here, cow. Now, one other thing I want to point out is your armor and tools have a durability, and I should be able to use this, yes. So as you can see here, there's this little bar. When this was brand new, it just barely turned green after the first hit of a cow. When we first break a rock, it'll turn green. It slowly deteriorates until there's nothing left. All right, and once that is gone, our pick will, or our sword in this case, will break. As will our armor when its durability is gone. Each item will break. So let's go, where were we? Over here? I think right over here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a basic shelter. Now there's 2 types of shelters. If you're in an area that's full of sand, digging a hole in the ground and trying to make yourself a shelter is going to be a little bit hard. And let me see, I think, are we over here? I might have got a little turned around. No. Where's the water? That's what we need to find. We're lost. Oh, here we go. Here's some, I think that's different water, but that's okay. We'll use that. This is where using the coordinates that we went over the other day come in very handy. We're going to go ahead and set the day, because we're still learning stuff. We're going to go ahead and set the day back. I'm not quite ready for night. Alright, well, oh, what's that? We got a nice... So here's our biome that we're in. This is actually a taiga biome. When you start seeing lots and lots of mushrooms and vines and uglier grass and stuff. Actually, this ain't too bad of grass. Oh, look, we got a zombie. Now, as you can see, this is a zombie, and they burn up in the day if they come into the sunlight. If he stays under this tree, he should stop burning. There we go. See how he stopped burning? Now, there are various other mobs that do the same thing. Skeletons will burn up in the day. Creepers do not. But we'll get to all those in just a bit. What I want right now is a lot of sand. So let's just grab this. So if you're, for example, in a desert, your best bet is to, odds are when you first start out in a desert, you're not going to have lots of resources because trees don't grow there. Starting with the next update, water won't be available very much in deserts, so you'll really be scrambling to survive. Alright, so we've just gathered a lot of sand, 26. Now a good way to survive in a desert, if we pretend this is a desert, what you want to do is take some of this sand, and if you put it like you're making a crafting table, you'll see we get sandstone. Now the difference between sand and sandstone is sandstone is a block, right? And if we break that with our pick, there's the durability on the pick, and you can see we have a block. Now sand is a block too, but it's affected by gravity, which means with sandstone, I can place it and it can float. I could make a shelter out of that. Sand isn't quite as good for that as it falls down. Now there's 2 blocks. There's sand and there's also gravel that follow the gravity rule. Everything else kind of defies gravity. But let's say we're in the desert and we need a quick shelter just for the night. We're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to make a bunch of our sand into sandstone, 6 of them apparently, and we're going to pretend we have more sand. But what you'll want to do is pillar up. Oh, whoops, didn't want to pillar up with that. We want to pillar up with our sand, and you do that by simply jumping and placing sand underneath you. So if we pretend we're like 10 to 12 blocks high, then what we want to do is hold down shift so we don't fall off our edge, and we can click on the edges of our sandstone. Now if we leave the sand in the middle like that, and we just make a little nice 3x3 block around us, nothing can get us if we're up high enough. Spiders can't get you because they can climb up the middle, but they can't go out and up off the sides. They have to fall if they do that. So that's a quick little shelter you can make in a desert. Now let's see. I'm looking at the clock and it looks like our time's actually over by a bit. So I think we'll save our other shelter till next time. But anyway, I thank you guys for watching this. If you enjoyed it, please click the like button down below, and that'll, click that thumbs up like button. That will give me better notice on YouTube for Minecraft and give me better placement in searches for Minecraft. And in turn, that makes more people be able to find me. Also, if you have friends and you like this stuff, pass it on. Let them know I'm here. Tell them to look up T4ZZM4NN on the YouTube. And maybe I can get some new subscribers. And if you haven't already, if you want to subscribe, clicking the subscribe button will make it so you're notified when I make new videos. And finally, leave comments. Let me know what I'm doing right. Let me know what I'm doing wrong. If you click the dislike button, at least leave me some kind of reason as to why. That way I can fix it and do better next time. So anyway, once again guys, thank you so much for watching my video. And until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.